remember Leroy hit him with a hammer at one point, and Leroy had a wire wrapped around his neck, and he was pulling on it from my bathroom. And then I sat with that for probably 2 days until Leroy covered him with cement.
This is 29-year-old Casie Bock. In June 2022, inside her condo in Aurora, Colorado, she and her boyfriend Leroy Crawford trapped, tortured, and murdered his best friend Karl Beaman Jr. to silence a secret. For nearly a year, they lived above his concealed body as if nothing had happened.
You feel like it's not your fault what happened, right?
It's not my fault.
Well, then that's why I want you to explain in as much detail as possible what happened.
The search dragged on, and the case was moments away from going cold until something unexpected flipped the entire investigation on its head, leading to a truth that was almost too shocking to believe.
I can tell you that right now all fingers are pointing to you. This is your opportunity, because what happened to KJ and where he is and how he's buried, that's not a one-person job.
I don't know.
In May 2022, in Colorado, Karl Beaman Jr. suddenly disappeared without a trace. Friends and family grew worried as days turned into weeks, and with no solid leads, the investigation began to stall. Detectives had little to go on, and the case was on the verge of going cold. However, an unexpected tip turned everything upside down. A single Facebook message shifted the investigation. It named Karl's best friend Leroy Crawford and Casie Bock and alleged his body was hidden beneath their home. Without wasting time, detectives turned their attention to Leroy and Casie. At the time, Leroy was already behind bars on unrelated charges, making him easy to question. Casie was tracked down on a traffic warrant and brought in for interrogation. It would take multiple interviews before her story finally began to crack and the truth started to surface. Little did the detectives know they were about to uncover a crime so gruesome it would haunt them for years, becoming one of the most disturbing cases of their careers.
All right, Casie. Like I said, we can explain to you everything that we have going on, okay? I would ask you, I'd kind of like to open it up to you. Do you think that there might be a reason that you would have some detectives talking to you like this, asking you questions? No? Is there nothing you can think of at all?
I know that my children's father got arrested by Arapahoe County and is getting charged with charges that he did not commit. And I know that I live next door to National Security, and they have been drilling holes in my walls and spying on me. And I know that Aurora is not the kindliest for police brutality, making up stuff. I've been dealing with this for about a year. I'm a Colorado citizen, like born and raised here. This is my first time ever in Aurora, and it has ruined my life. Most females don't like me because I'm prettier than them.
At the time of the crime, Casie was unemployed and was struggling with substance abuse. According to her, everyone is behind her, and apparently everything happening to her is because she is too pretty. And soon, the detectives would find out that this was just the starting point of her being delusional.
There's been some information that we've received, and we have a search warrant for your apartment. We have a search warrant for your kind of part of your building as well. All right, so there's nobody that your kids stay with every once in a while or anything like that? Okay. Is there any reason somebody would tell us something like that?
I got a job a few months back. My daughter did have a friend at school, and I knew that she lived in the same apartment complex. So I walked up to this lady and asked if she could help me because I needed a babysitter.
Okay.
We became friends, and somebody broke her window, I'm guessing, here a few days ago, and she thinks it's me.
Okay. Why would she think it was you?
Because I just told her a few days prior, as I seen all these undercovers around 2 weeks.
Oh, you told this person. Okay.
I told her to
What's
stay
her
away
name?
from me and my children.
Okay. What's her name?
Sierra.
Okay. So why did you tell Sierra to stay away from you?
Because I caught her in a lie.
And what was that?
I seen her in the back of her car.
Okay.
And this day, there was a bunch of undercovers around outside. Like, I've been going through a lot for a year. Like I said, I'm not naive to what's around me, and I'm not naive to the world trying to set people up either. I'm just trying to keep me and my children safe.
Detectives know that Casie is not an easy nut to crack. Therefore, they start slow and begin to press her about her neighbor, Sierra. Casie had mistakenly confessed to Sierra while she was high, and Sierra was the one who tipped off Karl's mother. Casie, on the other hand, has no idea about the tip. Little does she know that detectives already have the information, and her life is about to change forever.
Let's kind of back up to what's happened with you and Sierra over the past, I don't know, a couple weeks or whatever when you told her. Was there any specific, other than you saw these undercovers, was there any specific incident that made you feel like that, or was it just her being in the back of her car?
No, it was just her lying about being in the back of her car.
Okay. And that upset you because you thought there were police around there?
No, there were police around.
Okay.
There was undercovers all over, and I didn't understand. And I don't know why she would lie to me about not being in the back of her vehicle when I, clear as day, was right behind her and seen it.
And why did that worry you?
Because I don't like being lied to, for one.
Okay. I mean, anything else? Did you think she was like working with the police, or did you think, I mean,
kind of. The only reason the girl puts stuff in the back of her car is to move car seats so all 4 children can fit in her vehicle.
when you say all 4 children, you mean
My children.
Detectives sit there, watching Casie dig herself deeper into her own lies. Every answer is twisted in such a way that it makes her look innocent. However, beneath all her acts, what Casie did not realize was that the investigators were already steps ahead, and the search warrant wasn't just for show. But little do they know that this is just the tip of the iceberg.
as I mentioned before, we have a search warrant for your apartment. Okay? Do you have any idea why we might have a search warrant for your apartment? Do you think there's anything that we may find in your apartment? Anything that would be very alarming or suspicious?
I mean, I have a meth pipe in my bedroom.
We're not worried about
I have 2 guns that I legally own.
that. Yeah.
I have nothing else in my house.
We're not worried about that either. Okay. If you were lawfully allowed to possess a firearm, then that's not
I'm more so worried about my dogs that I feel like you guys are going to shoot.
okay. Our concern is that it sounds like you may have made some statements about somebody being buried in your apartment. Okay. I'm gonna cut to the chase. Okay. That's why we're here. That's why we ended up having a search warrant for the apartment.
Casie goes off on a tangent, mentioning her weird and absurd fear, some random bath pipe the detectives might come across, and her terror that they'll shoot her dog. As if that was the worst problem lurking in her apartment. But then the detectives decide to shift gears and bring something far more serious, the crawl space. And that's when the true story begins to reveal itself.
We understand that it's kind of an odd situation, so that's why we're kind of going about it the way that we are.
There's statements of what now? Of I've buried?
Not necessarily that you have buried, but we have heard that you made statements that there might be somebody buried in your apartment. More specifically, there's like a crawl space under your apartment.
There is a crawl space. I've locked it because I'm terrified of that.
Okay.
There's people who go under there all the time, just messing with me and my kids.
Okay.
It's kind of scary.
Okay.
A backstory on me is in Arvada, I had doors kicked in my faces. I was almost killed by a Banditos biker.
I'm sorry.
That's why the arrest warrants, those all happened in this same time of my life. Okay, I'm running. I ran to Aurora so nobody would find me as this man's about to get back out of prison.
Is that Mr. Crawford?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I
You're
didn't.
fine.
I mixed up what we were talking about. That's the person who was in this Bandito. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Oh, okay.
He was,
Okay.
maybe one of her nigger boyfriends liked me and she didn't like that.
Well, in that case, we'll just cut to the chase. Like, we're gonna go into the crawl space. Are we gonna find anything in there?
Not for me, no.
Okay, you say not from you. Will we find it from anybody else?
I've never been inside the crawl space. I have no association with the crawl space, besides that there was 2 men standing right next to the entrance of the outside. And the entrance to my house is right there too. I locked the crawl space because I was scared.
Casie denies everything, but her insistence that she has no connection to the crawl space is what will ultimately trap her.
Can I show you another picture, and maybe you can tell me if you know this person?
Sure.
Okay.
KJ.
KJ? Okay. Do you know his... I recognize the name KJ. Do you know what his first name actually is?
Karl
Carl. Do you know his last name?
Beaman.
Okay. How do you know KJ?
Me and Leroy used to stay with him
Okay.
a few years back when we were homeless.
Okay.
Him and Leroy were best friends.
They were best friends?
No, they are best friends.
When was the last time you saw KJ?
I don't know. The day of court.
Which day of court?
It was when I was granted temporary full custody of my children. It was the first time I seen KJ in a while. He walked in with Leroy.
Okay, how long ago was that? When do you think?
I don't know, I was still in my old apartment. So, June of 2021?
So the last time you saw him was in June of 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You said him and Leroy were best friends.
Yeah, they've been friends that I was told for like 12 years.
Okay. Have you heard from or seen KJ recently?
Mm-hmm. I know that my neighbor, my old neighbor, she said something about he came up missing.
When was that?
I've heard. I don't know. She told me this probably like 8 months ago, I feel like, a year ago.
Casie seems unusually calm when detectives bring Karl's photo to the table, looking at it as if she were looking at a picture of an old buddy after years. She and Leroy were trapped in an abusive relationship and bitter custody battles, and Karl standing beside them as a family figure. But beneath that fake facade, her house of lies is already beginning to crumble, because soon every word she says will be used against her.
I'm sorry, wait, was that in this current complex, the apartment that you're in now?
I mean, yeah.
So the neighbor there said he was missing?
My old neighbor from Arvada, yeah.
From Arvada said that they thought he was missing. Did KJ ever stay at your current apartment?
No.
Did he ever have any interaction with your kids?
No.
Okay. Did your kids know KJ or Karl?
We were just talking about Uncle. You know him as Uncle KJ.
Uncle KJ?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it surprise you to hear that one of your kids made a comment saying that they don't see him anymore and they miss him?
Would it be surprising?
Yeah.
I mean, no, we don't see him anymore.
Okay. Do you know what happened to him?
No.
You have no idea what happened to him?
No.
Okay.
I'm guessing that means he's not found.
Him and Leroy, you said were best friends initially, and then you said they are best friends.
Well, Leroy's been in jail for a year.
Right. Since what?
September.
That's in Jefferson County. Is that right? Okay. Before Leroy was in jail, was KJ still around?
That I'm aware of, yeah.
Okay. I'm not fishing for other cases or anything like that, but did Leroy and KJ, did they commit crimes together? We don't have to be specific. I'm not trying to create any other cases or anything like that. But did they do things like that together?
I don't know.
What happened with their relationship?
I don't know.
Casie tries to paint a picture in which Karl played no role in their lives, but detectives hear something very different from the children, who openly talk about missing their Uncle Karl. This is only the beginning of Casie's unraveling, because what she doesn't realize is that every inconsistency in her story is another nail in her own coffin.
Our concern is that we have not been able to locate Karl. Okay. And some of the information that we've gotten said that he was at your staying or came around your apartment several months back, quite a few months back, and that he and Leroy had a close relationship with each other. They were friends, and that there may have been some sort of altercation between the two of them. And we're very concerned about KJ's whereabouts.
I mean, I never allowed KJ in my house.
How come?
KJ never knew where I lived. I didn't want anybody to know where I lived. The world's just shown me a pretty ugly side. Can't really trust anybody.
You know, we could kind of talk about this a little bit more, but our concern is that KJ may have been killed and that Leroy might have either have had something to do with it, might know something about it, something along those lines.
So it sounds like Arapahoe's trying to pin more murder charges on my children's father.
No, it doesn't have.
For his best friend.
It's Jefferson County, and this has nothing to do with Jefferson County.
Jefferson County isn't pressing the charges of the murder of the man who's still alive that Leroy supposedly shot.
The attempted murder. Yeah. It's Jefferson County that has the case. But I spoke with the detective today. But that being said, they don't have anything to do with this, okay? And we are merely just we are doing our very best to, if Karl's still alive, we would like to know where he is. If he's not, we would also like to know where he is.
Casie keeps denying all the accusations by sticking to her version of the story. Throughout the interrogation, she keeps spiraling back to her lies to prove her and Leroy's innocence, as if she is auditioning for an Oscar. But then, the detectives begin laying out cold, hard facts. And this is the moment that Casie would realize that the detectives have found her horrifying secret.
Casie, we have good reason to believe that Karl's dead and that you had a hand in burying him under your apartment.
You guys know how big this area is, right?
You didn't do it alone, though. We have reason to believe you and Leroy took care of him after Leroy killed him in your apartment, and that you helped Leroy bury him beneath that crawl space.
Those are some pretty sick allegations, man.
Tell me about it. We have very good reason to believe that.
I didn't help anybody bury KJ. I haven't seen KJ in forever. Leroy hasn't killed anybody at my house. I have children at my house.
We're not going to tell you how long he's been missing. You've not asked us really anything about Karl, though.
That's what I'm asking, is how long you guys...
It's because you already know what's happened to Karl. You know he's dead. Okay? You haven't shown any concern since we started here that you care where Karl is, or do we have information on Karl? This man is like an uncle to your kids.
A man who has seen my children a few times.
You're the one who has described him as an uncle to your kids that makes them laugh. Okay?
I'm done talking.
He's like family.
I'm done talking. I was never allowed friends because of the relationship I was in. I'm done talking.
Detectives cut straight to the chase. When the detectives lay out the fact that they have found the body, Casie reacts as if she's hearing about this for the first time, leaving detectives to wonder how much she really knows.
So, by your assertion, somebody made up that you said that this person that you know as Uncle Karl was now buried under your crawl space, and we just go happen to find under that crawl space somebody who I am guessing is going to be Uncle Karl. That's all made up.
I mean, I didn't say that.
That's what you just told me. You just told me all that is made up.
No, yeah, all of that is made up because I didn't say that to anybody.
Right. Well, that's not made up.
What the hell is that?
You tell me. It's under your house.
That looks like 2 pieces of wood, dude. Like,
You're right. That you are absolutely
know
right.
what's
This
going
looks like
on.
2 pieces of wood. What is this?
Do I look like I'm a criminal?
Did we say that?
No.
We didn't say that, did we?
I'm not
We never-
saying you said
We
that.
never accused you of being a criminal. We haven't made any comments
I would
on
like my lawyer then.
That's fine. So I'm going to say my piece. You please don't say anything because you asked for a lawyer. We're going to get you booked down in our detention center. Okay?
Am I gonna
It's for your traffic warrants right now. All right. That being said, this investigation is going to continue. Okay?
After discovering the body, detectives decide to bring Leroy to the interrogation room. He agrees to talk to the detectives, but not without drama. He stands up mid-conversation, walks away, and slams the door. But little do the detectives know that they are about to interview a man so ruthless and arrogant that he is far from accepting the truth.
What I would like to do to start with is, if you don't mind, I'll just show you a photo of somebody and tell me if you can tell me who it is. Does that sound okay?
Yeah,
Okay. Who is it?
it's KJ.
KJ? Who is KJ to you?
Yeah, he was one of my friends. I seen him for about a year.
Okay.
Last time me and him talked, he said he was going to go back to Arizona.
Okay.
He was going to leave.
Okay. Well, he's been missing, just like you said. We're trying to find out what's going on with him, okay? So, you said the last time you saw him. Do you know about when that was?
I don't. It's been a while, like a year.
Okay. So, would it be fair to say, I know you guys had some contacts, like with police and stuff, way back in Castle Rock. Does that sound accurate? And again, I'm not asking questions about that case. I'm not concerned about the case at Castle Rock. But I
So what does those have to do on girls going on? So,
okay. Well, we're basically investigating his disappearance. Okay. We're the major crime section. We investigate missing persons and homicides. Okay. So we're
the fact
investigating.
that I was in here for talking to a cop,
I'm sorry?
as in the fact that I'm in here being charged with something I didn't do for talking to a cop, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Because I literally was helpful to the cop I talked to, and I'm in here facing my charges.
Okay.
For something I didn't do. So,
Well, I don't have anything to do with that, okay?
I know, but still, I think I'm done. Alright?
I think it's important, Bud, that you understand that you're not, it doesn't start this investigation.
That's fine. I think I'm still done. You need to talk to him.
No, I don't, hear me out. You don't have to say anything, just hear me out. Right, he talked to you about the search warrant. We did have that search warrant yesterday. Alright, we found it again. We know what it is. Right, we've talked to a lot of people and also have knowledge about it. And I can tell you that right now all fingers are pointing to you. This is your opportunity because what happened to KJ and where he is and how he's buried, that's not a one-person job, right? There's other people. And unfortunately, if you're not the one that talks, and if you don't get your side of the story out, then what we have is we have the physical evidence. We have all the information you led us up to finding KJ, the physical evidence, and everybody pointing their fingers at you, which means you take the brunt of everything, right? So I know you're already in here on the 10 murder charge. We have enough information right now to file first-degree murder charges on you. So now you have an attempt murder charge and you have a first-degree murder charge out of Arapahoe County, right? This is your opportunity to say what everyone else is saying isn't the way that it went down, right? I don't know, maybe you didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe you came home and somebody else had already killed him and you guys are like, what do we do, KJ? Let's put it here.
While Casie sits in the interrogation room, detectives make a chilling discovery in April 2023. Karl's body, buried under the crawl space and sealed in concrete, exactly where Sierra said it would be, hidden since June 2022. Yet, even with the body literally beneath her feet, Casie still refuses to tell the full truth. Formally arrested on felony charges tied to the concealment, every word from the detectives begins to echo in her mind. growing louder with each passing day until she finally reaches out, claiming she is ready to confess. But what detectives don't realize is that this is only the first version of the truth.
You reached out to us, all right, through your boyfriend, and you stated that you would like to speak to us. So what can we do for you? How can we help you? What do you have to say?
No, you probably can't help me. I just know that I don't want these charges placed on me because I did not do this.
Okay. That's fair. Does that mean
Did you look at my past by any chance?
I mean, we've looked
around the time?
We've looked at your criminal history.
Okay. Did you get to see the pictures of what my face used to look like?
I mean, I've seen previous photos of you.
Of the black eye I had.
What are we getting at here?
What I'm getting at is Leroy had me in a very bad relationship with him.
Okay. We understand that there were numerous domestic violence incidents. We definitely understand that.
I brought Leroy back around. I don't know why, because I thought, I don't know, to try our family again. Which didn't work, didn't end good.
So when you say you brought him back around, what do you mean?
I brought him to my new house shortly after I moved in.
Okay.
She still defends herself by playing the victim card, and now she conveniently starts blaming her boyfriend for everything, as if she just happened to be there at the wrong time. But what she will reveal next will leave the interrogators stunned.
There was one night he was talking about him and KJ were having problems, and that he thought KJ was a rat. It was working with cops, and that it needed to be taken care of.
Okay.
And the next thing I knew, I was coming home from work. And when I got home, he was in my apartment. And KJ was already dead. In my bedroom. And he forced me to help him move KJ.
I'm sure this is very difficult for you.
No, I don't.
Do you know what had happened?
No. I know I seen a bag over KJ's head.
You saw one.
A bag.
A bag.
What kind of bag?
I don't know. It's just a bag. The white bags.
Like a white plastic sack.
Yeah. I don't know, like a white Walmart bag.
Like a grocery type bag? Okay.
You know,
It's okay, take a little time.
I don't know, dude. I never thought that this would be my life. I never thought that anything that has unfolded in my life would be my life. But it is. And it's all from a man that I just should have stayed far, far away from. I told him I didn't want. He needed to do something else with this. This was my home and mine and the children's home that I didn't want. No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing what?
Because he told me, he's like, you're going to help me put him down below. And I was like, no. I was like, no, dude. Sometimes it was the dumbest idea he ever had on top of just killing him.
Even after her half-truth has been exposed, Casie continues to cling to every excuse that might make her look innocent. And yet, she still finds a way to circle back to the NSA boring holes in her house. What comes next forces interrogators to confront just how deep her delusions and her involvement may go.
Literally, I do live next to national security. There are holes being drilled through my wall.
Okay.
On top of this, there's been other deaths that have happened in that house that I was not aware of. Like, I've been spiritually attacked for months. I sit there over the past year.
Well, so let's, and I hate to kind of come back to something really traumatic, but let's talk about, you say Leroy made you help move KJ
He
down
said
under
he
there.
couldn't move him by himself.
Okay,
I told him I didn't want to.
okay.
I tried to leave. He grabbed my arm.
So did you guys pick him up and put him down there?
He forced me to drag him.
Drag him? Was there blood anywhere?
No, I didn't see any blood anywhere.
How did the cement and all that stuff get down there? I know we showed you the photograph. How did all that end up down there?
Because he thought it would be smart to cover him in cement.
Leroy did?
Yeah.
And how long did that take? Did he go and do that night? Or that day? Did he do it over the course of a few days?
I think he did it the next day.
Did he dig a hole? Did he?
He told me he dug a hole.
And then what?
No, I told him I refused to go back down there. This was his mess, and I didn't want to have anything else to do with it.
So did you ever go into, after dragging KJ into the crawl space, did you ever go down there?
Then I had to help move him.
She continues with her lies, claiming that the only reason she did it was that she was scared of Leroy. The way she twists her lies even makes the detectives wonder if she was actually scared of her boyfriend or if she was a willing participant in the crime.
It's important for us to understand exactly what your role was.
I didn't want a role in it.
I know, but you ended up in it.
Yeah, because the man told me he'd hurt me if I didn't help him.
Okay, and this is what we're getting at, is these details are important. To know how you ended up in this awful situation that was not your doing.
Months prior, dude, like, Leroy put his hands on me. That's why we got in all of this. Was because he got back on drugs. And he hit me. My eye all up. And I was scared.
So what did he say?
God, now I'm just like confusing myself. But I just know I didn't do this.
Okay.
I know that I was scared of a man who had just physically hurt me and had put me through mental and physical for 10 years.
Okay.
When I tried to walk out of my house, he grabbed my arm.
This was the day that this happened?
Yeah, this was when I walked in my house and I seen what was up, which was KJ on my floor dead.
What part of the floor?
It was my bedroom.
Your bedroom. Okay.
Did he bring a third party into this? It was just him.
Do you know if he told anyone about that?
Probably not. As you know, he's sitting there telling me that if I tell anybody, he'd kill me. So.
Did you guys ever speak of it again?
However, this is not the end of it. 3 months after insisting that she was completely honest, she decides to meet the detectives again. Her story keeps changing every time, as if she's changing her clothes. With her lawyer's help, she approaches law enforcement again, leaving detectives to question everything they thought they already knew.
Well, we kind of were saying initially we just give you another chance to kind of tell us about what happened that day. And then from there, we can ask some more questions.
I don't remember why KJ was coming over that evening, but KJ was coming over, and I didn't know it was coming over. All I really remember is that Leroy had a 9mm on him, and that when he seen my cameras, that KJ was at my door. He told me that I was going to do what he was telling me to do. I don't remember if it was that day or previous days, but he was talking about KJ was trying to set him up. They were both part of, I don't know, they both got in trouble, but KJ was trying to set him up. So I opened the door, and then the next thing I know, KJ had my 20 gauge in his hand.
Leroy?
Yeah. Did I say KJ?
You did.
Leroy had my 20 gauge. Oh, the next thing I remember is KJ was in my bedroom. And Leroy, to me, it felt like it lasted for hours. My kids were sleeping, so it was probably, I don't know, 1 in the morning when KJ got there. I remember Leroy hit him with a hammer at one point in front of my bed. And then he told me to go get a bag. And he said that there was people outside watching the house for him. He ended up trying to use the bag on KJ, and KJ ended up getting out of it. Like I said, this lasted for hours. And the next thing I remember is he told me to go wait in the living room. Where I kind of just sat there. I was kind of scared because he said that there was people outside waiting for me if anything did happen. And then the next thing I know is it was getting time for like my kids to be waking up, and I walked in the bathroom, or in my room, and in the bathroom he was pulling on something. I think it was a wire that was attached to KJ's neck. He told me that he was going to hurt me if I didn't help him after it was done. And I don't know. I had to help him slide the body out of the bathroom. He forced me to clean up all of the blood. And then I sat with that like that for probably 2 days until Leroy came back with cement. And that's when he covered him with cement. And that's pretty much all of it. Not pretty much, that's all of it.
As haunting as these findings are, no one could be prepared for the horrific revelation awaiting them.
Well, I'm sure that's probably pretty difficult to go back through all that.
I've been going through it for about 5 months. Longer than that, because I've sat on top of his body for about a year. And I didn't know that there was things looking for KJ.
You mean like police or just
Yeah,
people looking for it?
people that I guess his mom had something on Facebook. I never looked. I didn't want to look.
So now that we've gone through that, and I'm sorry I had to back up a little bit there, but now the sun's starting to come up and kids are waking up.
Getting close to waking up.
Okay,
I
so
walked back there and all I seen was KJ on the right side of my toilet, and Leroy had a wire wrapped around his neck, and he was pulling on it from my bathroom, like my shower. It was wrapped around the shower.
okay, so KJ is being pulled around the neck with this wire, and that wire is wrapped around the shower head, the shower curtain,
The shower door.
shower door. Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what your shower looked like.
It was a sliding stand-up shower.
Okay. With a door, a sliding door. Okay, so it's over the door. So at that point, did KJ look like he was still alive? No. All right. And what made, and I'm sorry, I know this is tough.
What made me think
What made
that?
you think he was dead? Or how did you know?
Because clearly that's what Leroy wanted that night, was to kill him. And he let go of it.
The wire.
Yeah. And all I remember was he was crying.
Leroy was.
Yeah.
Did he say anything specific that you remember?
I don't remember.
But he was crying.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned that there was something over Carl's head, is that right?
At one point.
Okay, was it at this point?
I don't know. I remember. I'm pretty sure he was covered.
The second time, last time when we were taking you over to the jail, and you gave us kind of a better account of what happened. Why not give us the whole story then?
I was so scared.
Okay. And scared of what?
Leroy. Of what was going to happen to me, my safety, my kids' safety. Leroy still knows where my kids are at, and that doesn't really put me past him, that he wouldn't do something to hurt them.
Casie Bock never went to trial. Arrested in April 2023 on charges including accessory to murder, witness intimidation, and body tampering, she pleaded guilty to accessory to a crime in September 2023. As part of the plea deal, the remaining charges were dropped, and she received a deferred 4-year Department of Corrections sentence. Leroy Crawford also avoided trial. Originally charged with first-degree murder and body tampering, he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison, consecutive to a 16-year sentence from a prior aggravated robbery, and will not be eligible for parole until 2066.